Hi there, my name is Miss Harlabidis, and in this video, which is part of a greater series of videos focused entirely on the AP Precalculus syllabus, we will try to connect the average rate of change of a function and that function's monotonicity. Once again, we have spent our previous 3 videos on talking about average rate of change. And we said that this topic is a crucial topic for our exams. We definitely expect to see lots of questions on that. Now, it's time for us to combine the average rate of change over a closed interval and the function's monotonicity. Now, let's remember that the average rate of change over a closed interval AB was defined by the quotient f of b minus f of a over b minus a. Regarding to monotonicity, this classifies as increasing and decreasing. And if you remember, we said that f increases if every time x1 is less than x2, then f of x1 is less than f of x2. With that said, if f is increasing over an interval AB, then this definition of the increasing monotonicity is applied, but is applied for every value inside this interval, even for b and a. That means that the f of b minus f of a and b minus a, it's definitely something positive. F of b minus f of a will also be something positive. So we have a quotient of 2 positive quantities, which means that the result should also be positive, which means that the first connection that we could do is that if the average rate of change is positive, then f is increasing. Similarly, in the AP Precalculus, we will never be asked to prove anything. So there's no point in trying to understand or trying to derive yourselves this proof. But similarly, if you follow the same concept of the decreasing monotonicity, we said that if f decreases, then when x1 is less than x2, this means that f of x1 would be greater than f of x2. In that case, where f is decreasing, by following the average rate of change in that interval, we would have said that still b minus a it's positive, but f of b minus f of a would have been negative. So this means that we have a fraction of 2 different sign quantities, which means that the fraction itself would be negative. Therefore, the second statement would be that if the average rate of change is negative, then f is decreasing. From now on, we will keep that really good in our minds. How is monotonicity of a function related to the average rate of change over an interval? We know that if the average rate of change is positive, then the function is increasing. If the average rate of change is negative, then the function would be decreasing. Let's see one example, basically. Find the intervals in which the average rate of change of this function is positive or negative. Well, We just said we should always do this translation. Average rate of change positive means f is increasing. So let me highlight that by, sorry for that, by green. Sorry, it doesn't help us. Let me choose this one. F is increasing, or let's do it like that. Here and here. So we would have said we need the intervals. It's at negative 2, 0. Let's make them closed intervals at negative 2, 0, union at 2, plus infinity. Similarly, the average rate of change negative means that f is decreasing. So let me highlight that by blue. Always be careful to understand exactly what you are given. You can see here that this was a colored dot, which means that we should include that. So now we would say that it's from negative 3 up to negative 2, union from 0 up to 2. Now, there is a question, not, I don't hear it as often as I would like to hear it, but there's occasionally this question. We said that in monotonicity, it would be bad, it would be vague in terms of the definition of monotonicity to include the endpoints of an interval. But here we included them. Why did I include them here? Because the average rate of change needs a closed interval, needs an interval at where the endpoints are included. So here we will be including them. Once again, before we say our goodbyes on this video, I want you to entirely from now on combine these two concepts. Average rate of change positive means the function is increasing. Average rate of change negative means the function decreases. That's all. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see ourselves in one of the following videos. Have a great day.